Tonight on Debate Amongst Friends, episode 50 upon us. We're going to talk about a little NFL news, including the tragic, unfortunate news of Aaron Hernandez, and some NBA news, including the Boston Celtics struggle, coach of the Grizzlies post-game comment controversy, the Clips tie the series, and some NBA playoff game twos happening tonight, as well as the WWE Superstar Shakeup and its aftermath starting now.
Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome to Debates Among Friends live on YouTube. This is the 50th edition of the Sports Podcast on April 19th, 2017. I am your host, the Professor John Gotti, and always by my side, just like his most favorite move in the whole wide world, the Styles Clash, dropping it down for everyone like he does facts. It is Doc Trevor Ocean. How you doing tonight?
I like the Styles Clash as much as you like the Thunder in Paradise theme song.
I actually do like the Thunder in Paradise theme song. I just said that it was very addicting to listen to.
Oh, I hated it. So let's move on because I hate the Styles
Wait,
Clash.
now you got it in my head again. Thunder in the Paradise.
Oh, good sir. Oh, good sir. What is going on though?
Not so much, man. I mean, vacation for your boy.
You know I'm going on
Vacation
vacation.
for the doctor. I mean, there's just vacations happening for debates among friends. But as much as we're so high right now and so much joy, we have to start it off with some sobering news in the world of the NFL. And Aaron Hernandez was reportedly committed suicide today on the same day as his former team visited the White House.
Isn't that crazy? I mean, how
mean,
crazy is that, bro?
it's, it's a bitter pill to swallow, to be honest with you. I mean, just waking up to just seeing that on my ticker, like, what?
Right. I mean, to me, it just seemed too. I mean, I hate conspiracy theories, of course. I mean,
Of
you
course.
hate conspiracy theories, but even the lawyer even said, "Hey, this seems like murder because obviously, if he got acquitted of his charges for the recent, conviction,
Mhm.
who would believe that they weren't going to at least try to appeal this particular one, his older one? You know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
So that's the part that was kind of weird to me is that this happened after the acquittal.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's already done several years, and somebody did post this, the fact that he's already done several years, or he had done several years, and now all of a sudden, now you're going to commit suicide. That's crazy.
I mean, I don't know. There's so many narratives to look at. I mean, on one
Of
hand,
course.
you're looking at it as, you know, potential double jeopardy, and he got acquitted for one, but he
Hmm.
still is. Like, the thing that people didn't understand after the whole acquittal thing came out is the fact that he's still serving life for the initial charge.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't know why people kept saying, well,
The Cowboys are
the
going to pick
Cowboys
him
gonna
up.
pick him up and
Yeah.
stuff like. No, he's still, there. Like,
For another life, at least 25 to life.
yeah, at least
I think it
25
was
to life.
25, yeah.
But
I didn't understand it myself either. I thought that people were crazy and weren't really paying attention.
mhm.
And I guess that's where we were talking a couple of weeks ago, and I went on a long rant, which you're probably like, which rant did you go on, Doc? 'Cause you go on rants all the time. But
Um,
it was a
it's
rant
it's
about
not me. It was Chris who said it before the show.
sure, sure. sure. But it was random. This is it. Um, so this is about somebody's life,
This is about someone's life.
and this is really one of those lessons where you want to say, "Hey, here's what you don't do when you start making it." Sometimes you have, and I tell people this all the time. Like sometimes you have to let things go. Like sometimes you have to let people go. Sometimes you have to change your lives, and we've seen it so many times now with even with like a Michael Vick story.
Yeah.
Like things happen. I mean, and we've been growing up with this kind of story all our lives. Look at a movie like Boys in the Hood.
Hmm.
I mean, you
And
have to leave your friends sometimes.
it's interesting that you mentioned that because that was what Chris Carter was talking about today on Undisputed, where he was like, you can take the guy out of, those bad situations, but you can't take the bad situations out of that guy. Like he's
Right,
always gonna keep going back into it. He just basically became a much, larger figure within
right,
that whole mess.
and that was something that being a Bucks fan, obviously, we've been going through the draft and a lot of mock drafts, and a lot of people keep talking about the kid from Oklahoma, Joe Mixon, and the one thing that keeps coming up is obviously there's a videotape of him. I believe it was like punching a woman in the face, and it's like, hey, is he a bad guy? Or is he just a guy who made a stupid mistake? Is he a bad guy, or did he make a bad decision?
Yeah.
And in this particular situation, you're asking yourself, and you're like, well, man, like, what in the world is going on? Like, what is it?
I don't
Like,
know.
what do you say? What do you say? I mean, and now you got this guy here convicted of murder, serving a life sentence, and now, and which I'm glad somebody humanized it earlier, and they said a daughter just lost her father.
Yes.
Although he might have been a father behind bars, he was still her father. Like he knew that she was alive, and that's a big deal to some children.
Hmm.
So,
I mean, speaking of just humanizing element, I mean, so many memes came out
oh
today
yeah,
about it.
I saw.
I don't know if you had a chance to view them all. Like,
I
it
only
just
saw
kept
one.
it just kept coming through my timeline. Like,
I only saw one. The one that said Aaron Hernandez was out indefinitely due to suicide. I saw that one. He was out versus something indefinitely.
yeah,
I saw that one. That was terrible. That was class. That's no class at all.
like one of them was talking about, his attorney told him to hang in there. Like,
Oh my
seriously?
god.
That's
Yeah.
that's in poor taste.
Yeah, that is
It,
poor taste.
like, oh yeah, blah blah blah. We all want to have fun. We all like to have fun here at the Basement on Press, but that's just in poor taste.
Yeah, that was big time poor taste. Unbelievable. And that's the kind of stuff that makes social media unfun.
Yes.
You know, like I understand trolling. I know you're the troll master, and I'm the troll prince, sweet, sweet Dr. Noomsy. But that's just unbelievable. Even the one I posted about Carmelo was light humor with Derek Fisher.
Hmm.
And of course not making light of Carmelo's situation because as a husband, of course you don't ever want to, go through something like that. And with with Carmelo, um, obviously it's probably a tough time, but obviously he did this to himself also,
Absolutely.
so that's where it's different. I see you looking over there. Sure, it's a little different. He did this to himself, not the other way around. Pissants.
But
Uh,
but back to the point though. I
sure, but
mean,
human. But I brought that up because it was one of those things where it wasn't a hey, I'm posting this maliciously.
yes.
It was just like humor, but just the guy just died, and a lot of people are
It's
just
not
like,
even 24 hours.
hmm,
Like, Give it time.
Absolutely.
Afterwards, maybe we could find some humor behind the whole thing later down the line, but not even 24 hours later. That's no.
Yeah, definitely.
No, at,
Definitely.
at, at that point, we stop becoming, sports enthusiasts, and, we just become jerks.
Right.
And jerks is a PC term that we're going to use. We don't want to use the kind of languages that, Helen, our HR rep, will frown upon later on
Oh
after the
yeah.
show.
Come on. Come on. Come on. But yeah, I just thought it was poor taste. I mean, I hate it, but I mean, I'm just happy that hopefully it should be over.
I mean, and there's so many more articles talking about, things that obviously they don't know about. Like one of them from Deadspin. One of them from Deadspin's talking about he wrote John 3:16 on his forehead before apparent suicide. Where's your source from that? Did he get that from, the prison guards? Did he get that from his, attorneys and stuff like that? Like, where are you getting this information from? Like, all
Right.
this is clickbaiting.
Right.
Like, by the
And
time we actually get the information, then you can start pushing stuff out. But, like, stuff like this, no.
yeah, definitely. And I just think that this is just one of those situations that shows why there are some parts of social media that, although I complained about social media being too serious at times, this is one of the times where it should have been a little bit more serious.
Yes.
And it shows that as human beings, we're starting to be less humane, and we're not respecting each other for being human beings and alive.
Yes. It's all about now the evolution of desensitizing, certain issues that are much more sensitive and should be treated that way.
It's almost like trollization.
No, no, this goes beyond just regular trolling.
Desensitization. Excuse me. Let me drink some water. And trollism, which seems to be a real thing. I mean, you mix the two. I mean, you got a really lethal combination.
Yeah, but there's a big difference between, trolleism and trolleism fraud. And this right here with all these memes today, that was fraud.
It was
That's not
terrible.
that's not trolling. That's just, spitting on someone's grave. And you don't do that kind of stuff.
Right.
You don't do that kind of
Because at the
stuff.
end of the day, and this is the part that was good, man. We can definitely
And
move
and
on.
we're not, defending what he did to get put into
Right.
prison. We're just talking about just him as a human being
But here's the thing,
and the
and I'm
aftermath of everything else that's going on. Before, people take this
sure
and get
anybody
up in
jump off.
arms and they're like, oh well, they're defending him and he's a convicted murderer. Like we just said, he's a convicted murderer. Like he did
Well,
wrong.
here's the thing. Two quick points. Number one, riding around with one of my coworkers yesterday, we both said like, hey, listen. And this is think about it, this is yesterday
Yeah.
before he passed away. We had this conversation, and we said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I don't think I would have made it in prison. I don't think I could make it in prison. I don't know how people do it. I get the sociological aspect of it. Three hots in a cot. Sometimes some people get treated very nicely. Some situations are really, really good. I couldn't do it. Now, my second point, only God really knows what happened on the night of that particular murder. And
Yes.
that's something that Aaron had to live with. So whether he did or didn't do it is something that he had to live with, no one else. And that's the part that I always get kind of it's kind of tough because we really don't know. He's a convicted murderer, yes, sure, but we don't know if he 100% did it.
Exactly.
We do not know that, and that's the part that he had to live with. So again, I know I wouldn't be able to make it in jail. I know that for sure. And this might have been one of those situations where he just realized, hey, this is gonna be my life forever, and he just didn't want it anymore, maybe, or he
Yeah.
was killed, or he was killed. It definitely could have been either way. Um, but I know
But right now we don't know anything.
we
So,
don't know anything.
speculations, shouldn't be treated as facts right now. So I think, the media baiting and the clickbaiting should, pump the brakes for a little bit, at least until we get some more light with the situation to find out what all is happening.
Absolutely. Now, of course, we have to move on to some of the other topics here. Um, Speaking of people moving on, will the Boston Celtics move on in the series?
I don't think so. And
Oh
I
my goodness.
believe I believe I spoke about this maybe a week or two ago, but I said the Cavaliers were sandbagging to get a lower seed than the Boston Celtics, so they will not have to face either the Miami Heat or the Chicago Bulls in the playoffs.
And you saw what I posted about Skip Bayless, and he said it again today, and I was like, wow, Professor John Gotti's been saying this for a couple of weeks now, and I mean, the more you look at how Chicago's playing, who outside of Mirotic
Oh
is a very
gosh.
good team. He is. I'm not gonna lie, like between him and Ryan Anderson here, I'm watching on Houston. I mean, Ryan Anderson's playing terribly this last game, and he's playing terrible tonight so far. And Mirotic, I don't think I've seen him make one 3-point shot since I've watched these playoffs. Maybe he has. Of course, any Bulls fans out there want to chime in, you definitely can. But I have not seen one shot made from Mirotic. Yet I've seen McBuckets here get in at the end of the game on a blowout and play like he's been playing the whole series. So I'm not even trying to hear this, man.
I mean, I'm just saying that Mirotic is now the Corey Brewer of this playoffs.
He really is, and it's really unbelievable.
I mean, it's just one of those things. I mean, either the ownership like him or the coach like him. Like he's a good player. He's just not good right now.
It's almost like he's the Roman Reigns of Chicago.
Oh no! Hilarious. I see what you did
I
there.
mean, he's gonna get pushed no matter what, and it's crazy.
It's not crazy.
Now,
It's kind of sad.
now the one thing I will say is that Rajon Rondo is balling out of control right now.
Let's talk about that for a second.
Can we talk about Rondo for a little
Let's
bit?
talk about Rondo.
I mean, can we talk about Rondo for a little
Let's
bit?
talk about Chris. Can we talk about Rondo? Okay, he's shaking his head. Yes, we can
I
talk
see him
about
shaking
Rondo
his
for a
head
little
yes
bit.
over there. I see him shaking his head yes. Rajon Rondo, they showed a picture of him yesterday when he played with the Celtics and when he's playing now. And I'm gonna be honest with you, he really is trying to take it to the Celtics. Like, this is personal. This is not even business. Hey, you guys, I had to go to Dallas
Yep.
and then Sacramento.
Yep.
And now I'm in Chicago. And I'm tired of people disrespecting me. I'm tired of people disrespecting me. And I'm going to go out here and I'm going to try to dominate you guys because I want Cleveland. But
Wow.
that's what it is.
I like
I'm
that
going to
narrative
dominate
actually.
these teams. I'm going to dominate these teams because I want Cleveland. Because Cleveland think they can avoid us, but I'm coming for them. And LeBron, we coming for you, Ninja.
No! 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 Helen, it's okay. Helen, it's okay. He didn't say the word. It's all right.
LeBron, we coming for you, Ninja.
Oh gosh. Oh my! I can't believe you just went there.
I'm sorry. Good old Booker T.
Oh, shout out to Booker T.
I was playing that Champions game. This is just a quick rant, a quick, you know,
Tangent.
tangent. Yeah, I was playing a game, and I meant to send you the picture, but then of course I broke my phone, so those pictures are gone. Um,
Rip
uh,
doctor's phone. Hashtag that.
yeah, hopefully this whole back-to-back, like I'm on the cover of Lethal Weapon thing works with the transferring of files. So Booker T's Harlem Heat character is in the WWE Champions game. You can find to your Android and iOS, of course. But they're not paying us, so I'm just. So it just brought it to my attention. That's the only reason I said that. But I just think that Chicago Bulls feel like they're underrated, underappreciated, and honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if Milwaukee, if they can get past this team, and Chicago, if they can get past this team, they're coming for LeBron.
Yeah.
And that's why I said earlier about I wouldn't be surprised if Carmelo goes and plays in Milwaukee, or some of these guys go play in Milwaukee with
Hmm.
Jabari Parker and some of these young guys.
I can see it too. I
I
mean,
can, yeah,
I believe I actually said that it's better for free agents to be or people who might get bought out to go to play for Eastern Conference team instead of staying West.
And eventually, but see, the problem is eventually the East is gonna get strong again
All
if
right, we
this is
got
what's gonna happen.
breaking news: Kevin Durant is out tonight.
And I saw that earlier. That's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, t- granted they're playing Trailblazers, and
Well,
no
see, you
disrespect to
can't
the
even
Trailblazers.
say that because the
I was,
Trailblazers brought them to the brink.
but I think that with the talent that they have,
hmm
Kevin Durant can miss a game, and they should be fine.
They was talking about letting Durant sit the rest of the series because they feel confident that they could beat the Blazers.
I feel confident that they can beat the Blazers.
I think they can. I think we both said in five.
Yeah.
So
Even I mean, but I was thinking with Durant, of course, but even without Durant, I mean, they're still a good team. They just need to, and it's hard when you have Durant in and out of the lineup, but they just really need to find their identity back, get their identity back. Um, but the same goes for Boston.
yes,
The same goes for Boston. But when you look at
but
them,
Boston really doesn't have an identity, outside of Isaiah Thomas.
and I mean, we're going to definitely get to the Clippers, but I think Boston has not a whole lot, not a whole bunch more than the Celtics. And I talk about the Celtics, but it's it's not a whole bunch, but it's a little better. Isaiah Thomas is just struggling right now, man. I mean, to lose your sister the day or the same day as the playoffs beginning, that's rough, bro.
I
Like
mean,
that,
that by itself, just earns massive respect because
definitely,
he's still willing to do this. Not just because he wants to win, but because he treats his teammates as brothers. So I could definitely understand it, and I can respect that. But it's
absolutely.
showing in the play.
Absolutely, and he's taking some shots that I think in the regular season he might have made, um, but they're just not. It's just not getting done. The one player I am pretty surprised at, and a lot of people are giving him some serious credit as well as some serious flack because he flipped off a fan yesterday. Marcus Smart,
Marcus.
Marcus Smart.
Yeah.
He has a G in his name. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but for some reason everyone calls him Marcus Smart.
It's because it's easier. That's why.
Yeah, what the heck?
Yeah, that G in there is so weird. It's like, oh my god. But yeah, his name is. Wait, maybe. Hold on, let's see. Maybe it is Marcus Smart. Maybe I'm thinking of Marcus Hunt. No, it is Marcus. I'm sorry. I was thinking about Marcus Hunt, who played for Cincinnati, I believe. But his name is Marcus Smart. Excuse me. Excuse me. That's on me. I'll take the foul. Don't hit me with a technical. Um, nope. Put that hand down, sir. Put that hand down. But he's playing hard. He's playing with a lot of energy. But they're just struggling. I mean, Kelly Olynyk's not really shooting that well. And people are just not playing that great.
Yeah, I think it's just a bad series for them. Once again, I mean, the issue, the Chicago Bulls is the better team,
Right.
unfortunately. Like, despite all that,
On paper, the Celtics are better.
on paper the Celtics are better, but I believe, and wow, this might be controversial because this is going to get a lot of people upset. I believe the Celtics suffer through the same thing that the Thunder are suffering from.
I have to disagree. Only because you can't put the Celtics and the
Not,
Thunder the same.
and that's the thing. I don't want you to take it so literally.
I'm gonna
Just think
take it
about it.
literally. I'm
Just.
gonna take it literally. I'm gonna take it literally. I have to because yes, you could do the Isaiah Thomas and Westbrook are both dynamic scorers, but and I even think. I mean, I guess you could. They are a pretty close team
um,
when you think about it. I guess because
just.
you think about people like Oladipo, and then you have Crowder.
Yep.
You think of even though I think that Avery
Like,
Bradley is very underrated. He's definitely better than Andre Robinson, but I'm sorry. I was supposed to say that. I mean, was I supposed to say that? I don't know.
Wait, is he playing today? Did people look out for him after the first game?
Honestly, the coach must have had to sit down and talk with him and say, "Listen, you're getting killed out there," because he's showing more effort. I will give credit; he is showing a lot more effort. And they're winning by I think 7 right now, 6 or 7. I mean, they were winning by like 15 just a minute ago, so we cut it down to 7. So I'm pretty happy about that. But I
And
mean, to me,
it's not
yeah, it's first quarter.
terrible,
It's
but
it's the
first
first
quarter.
quarter. We struggled. They're trying to increase their rebounding, but like I said, the first series alone, we had got 3 rebounds. So, but yeah, he's Avery Bradley's definitely better than Andre Robinson. Um, I think Isaiah Thomas's supporting cast is definitely better than eat your sandwich, Dave. Than is definitely better than that of Russell Westbrook, but that's not to take away from Westbrook's team. And I think somebody else said the same thing again today. Oh, Harden's supporting cast is better than Westbrook's. And I just said, no, sir. No, sir.
If
James
they
Harden is just making the people around him better to make it look like
that
his
he has
team,
the better team, exactly.
but they're making them look really good. Um,
Like first of all, it starts with the coaching. Because if I was the coach, I would make sure that those two 7-footers will be
are rebounding.
way more, not even just a rebounder, just way more involved in the pick and roll offenses.
And that's what they're doing today, and it's working so far. They're banging down because, like I said, they have the size on us, which I don't know why they're not in the post, but that's
I
not
don't
their
know.
game. So that's what they're trying to do tonight. Obviously, Nene and Capella are going to hold their own. But speaking of coaching,
Uh oh.
two coaches back to back, like they're on the cover of Lethal Weapon. The Grizzlies coach, and of course Doc Rivers. Of course, we're going to start with the Grizzlies coach,
Yes.
who made
David
some.
Fizdale.
David Fizdale made some comments about the officiating, I have to imagine, and you posted fair or foul on Twitter. Now, I said, of course, it's always going to be a foul. However, a lot of people would argue that what about the constitutional right to be able to voice your own opinion about whatever you want? But this is your job.
This is your job. Unless your name
This
is
is your
Phil
job.
Jackson, you're an executive.
Unless your name is Phil Jackson and you're an executive. I don't know, man. I just think that this is one of them situations where you can't say anything. And in any sports, you can't, a coach, a player, you can't say anything about the officiating.
Nope.
And I just think that that's one of those things that it's like, if you're going to try to control what I say at a press conference, then let me control everything I say let me control other stuff that I say at a press conference. You know what I
And it
mean?
doesn't really help out that he has to immediately go, do a press conference,
Right.
high on emotion still, and
Absolutely.
not, and basically be in a mindset to where he's not going to criticize the referees.
Because he's pissed. I mean, they did have
Like
some bad calls.
same thing with and granted this is a bigger scale because it's
Sure.
this player, but like Adam Pac-Man Jones.
Sure.
When the
Even
when the
beast
reporter
mode.
kept and even beast mode, yes. Like it's just think about it like this: Cam Newton after the Super Bowl when he lost.
Right.
Like it's one of those things in sports where yeah, it's great, it gives a juicy story, but at the same time, give them some time.
Give him some time. Like, give him some time.
Heck, we just got finished seeing that in the NCAA tournament where a team loses at a heartbreak buzzer beater and being forced to sit down and answer questions about it.
And even with Paul George the other night, I think he said something about,
He said it's 2 times, not even just once.
well, the most recently one, I guess, about Lance Stevenson, really keeping his head and staying in the game, kind of.
Yeah,
But
but that's more
it's
truth though, because we knew
it
that
is
about
true.
Lance. That's something that's facts already. It's just the fact that it's been exploded because he's talking about his own teammates.
But at the same time, it's like, if you can say something about your teammates, I mean, why can't you say something about the referees? They're out there doing a job. Maybe they should start having the referees go out there and do interviews.
Exactly.
See what they say. Oh, I thought LeBron was holding too much.
I mean, granted, I didn't have the opportunity to read the 2 minute report, but one of our main sources for advanced data, B-Ball
Mm-hmm.
Breakdown, shout out to them at B-Ball Breakdown on Twitter,
You both break down.
and follow them on Facebook as well too.
Of course.
Basically, at the beginning of their video talking about this issue, highlighted certain moments where there was calls that wasn't made that benefited the Spurs. There was
Absolutely.
calls that wasn't made that would have benefited the Grizzlies.
Absolutely.
So, taking Mr. Fizdale's point to heart when he said, take that for data, which is awesome. I might actually need to try to trademark that one because I like it.
Hilarious.
I mean, that's the psychological part about being the head coach, especially in the playoffs. You're trying to shift the attention towards the referee to make them, pay more attention to certain things to try to get them more calls, especially with them heading home now for game
Right.
3.
Right. Now
Like,
let me ask you about. Let's ask you this, because obviously the Spurs are going to win this series,
of course, it's
and
going to be a sweep.
not to jump ahead, but what's the difference? Because I don't know, and I would have to go back and look.
Okay.
But what's the difference between what Fizdale said and what Doc Rivers said? Doc Rivers literally at the press conference. He really insulted a media person.
Well, I mean,
Not
that's,
he didn't
that's
he
the
didn't
first thing
say
right there.
he didn't say, hey, you know, you're stupid. But he said that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I mean,
So I
we
mean,
say that many times on this show.
I know, but we're not governed by too many people at this particular time.
Other
If
than Helen,
anybody,
who's
if
still looking
anybody,
at you right now.
hey, and Helen, we're coming for you next.
I have to hear this after the show, not you, okay?
No, but it's just one of those things, man, where let people let people
Let people talk.
let them do their job.
Let them speak their mind, but give them the certain parameters to where they can't go above and beyond. If they go in there and having a cursing tirade, that's above that line. But if
Yeah.
they're saying things that they feel like is justified to help, not only just motivate themselves or bring change towards the game for the next game, but also motivate your team.
It's like, hey, I don't believe in some of those calls. They were really terrible.
But the thing that I really wanted to ask you about was this one quote, because that one really took to heart for me. Because I was like, you know what? It's one of those things that is an unspoken rule throughout sports, especially football and basketball. Coach Fizdale said, and I quote, I know Pop, of course we know who Pop is,
Sure.
has pedigree, and I'm a young rookie.
Sure.
But they're not going to rook us. Isn't that similar to something I believe Cam Newton said when he said that the referee told him that,
It is.
you know,
It is. It is.
like,
Well, somewhat, yes. He said. He said you got to be in the league a little longer to get that kind of call.
exactly.
Getting rooked. I don't think he's getting rooked. First and foremost,
Well, we
I
know he didn't
appreciate-
get rooked because we have the actual video evidence to show us that,
Absolutely.
there's some
absolutely.
backing towards his argument and some that kind of, debunk his complete myth.
First, can we just say though? They were playing terrible.
They were playing.
Okay, had nothing to do with the referees. I think they went probably 2 for like 17 in the first quarter. It was crazy, and the Spurs got hot before Kawhi Leonard even took off. The Spurs got hot. Tony Parker came down, hit like 3 or 4 straight shots, and then Kawhi Leonard came in. It was crazy, and then it was like, hey, now we're not getting the calls, and we're down by 18 and 20. Come on. You had to rely on Zach Randolph, which we knew Zach Randolph would be the guy. And you know what? After you said what you said on Monday about Mike Conley not deserving the money, I watched his game, and I'm going to say, I can't say that he doesn't deserve a great amount of money, but maybe not to the extent where he should have been the highest paid player.
I feel like I said that about Harrison Barnes a couple of times.
No, now it's something completely different because Harrison Barnes got a max contract, but
What did Mike Conley get?
he's not the highest paid shooting guard in the league or highest paid
Point
small
guard.
forward in the league.
Yeah.
Mike Conley's the highest. Like he got a ridiculous money for a team that
He got money that you would get playing baseball.
he got money that they should have paid LeBron first. That they should have paid Kawhi Leonard first.
Okay, I can accept that one. I'm like, but LeBron's on a decline though. Like,
But LeBron still is better than Mike Conley.
oh, absolutely, hands down.
You
Like, I'm
know?
not saying that. I'm never ever going to say that LeBron
Yeah.
James is, you know, inferior to talent to Michael Conley. That is
But-
not going to come out my
But
mouth
that's what I
ever.
was saying. So LeBron would have gotten that contract before Kawhi Leonard, which is the only reason I would say LeBron first. Kawhi's going to get paid. There's no question about it. But he's probably going to do the same thing that Tim Duncan did. Listen, guys, I want to get paid, but keep me in the 12 to 14 range. I don't need to make 18, 19 million dollars.
I don't even think he needs to say that.
What do you think
Like,
he's going to?
just like what the Spurs did with Tim Duncan, they're going to take care of him.
All right, and that's what you can do is appreciate it. And that takes me to the next thing, because I know we were talking about that. And obviously we're going to talk about the Clippers next, and this is the only reason I bring this up. What did you think about my post earlier?
Which one?
CP3 potentially going to the Spurs. And this is just, and people, I want you to know, this is just hypothetical. Hey, contract over, Spurs. Obviously, Tony Parker's going to probably retire. Ginobili's probably going to retire. You know, you don't have to sign back some of the veterans if you don't need to. Chris Paul takes a pay cut kind of thing and says, hey, I want to play for a winner in the West. If I'm going to go West, I'm going to play for a winner. I want to play for some guys who can ball. I want to go to the Spurs.
I would say that would make the Spurs very, very dangerous for the next couple of years.
Now, did you see some of the comments?
Yes.
I mean, 46 comments, bro.
That's a lot.
And that
I
was
mean,
that
some
was
were
at,
me, but you know.
that was at 6 o'clock. I don't know where it's at now, but I was just like, oh man. But then that good old MJ and one other person said that Chris Paul is a cancer, bro.
He's not a.
I couldn't believe that.
Chris Paul is quite possibly one of the most competitive point guards we have in the game right now.
Honestly, I think he just wanted to push these guys, especially people like DeAndre Jordan, who, again, they don't have the strategy to get that under wraps, if you know what I mean.
Oh, we actually have an interesting comment about this whole CP3 thing. What if Carmelo Anthony and Chris Paul pull a Bron Bosch
Don't repeat that. You saw what I wrote.
and team up with
Oh my
AD and
God.
Boogie Cousins? I'm like, first of all, how the heck are gonna do that contract?
No, that you saw what I said. I wanted to put that meme, which of course, if my phone wasn't broken, I would have posted that picture of the kid, the old man from Friday, when he was like, "You want some of this too, old man? You want some of this too?" And he was like, "No." That's what I wanted to post, but my phone is broken, so I didn't have my pictures because I got these pictures saved and ready to go at all times. But I was like, no, that's not going to happen. And that's why I mentioned they got Solomon Hill, they got Omer Ashik, they got somebody else tied up, and nobody's taking Omer Ashik for $10 million a year. Nobody's taking Solomon Hill for $12 million a year.
No.
It's just not happening. So I just don't. I just couldn't believe he even wrote that. You got a better chance of Brooklyn, like you said. Something like that, maybe, but not. No, not the Pelicans.
There you go. I had to give my response, and I think you'll like it.
I look forward to reading it, sir. But speaking of Chris Paul, though, I mean, him going to the Spurs to team up with, Kawhi Leonard and LaMarcus Aldridge obviously would be something special. Um, and you have to think that Tony Parker retiring and Ginobili retiring, that they're going to need somebody else to come in. And I'm not saying that Kawhi needs help, of course, but
No, but it definitely helps out to have, some more firepower to come with you, with the upcoming Jazz team and, Golden State the way that they are for the next couple of years, like, and even Cleveland, despite the fact that LeBron is declining, like they're
right,
still, the team to beat in the East.
without question, without question. So, I mean, moving to the Clippers now, who are who we think they are. I don't think they're a great team. As somebody so eloquently put, Chris Paul's overrated. They put that DeAndre Jordan was nothing but an alley-oop catcher.
I agree with that.
Blake Griffin is just an injury waiting to happen.
Probably the second broke, nope, yeah, second broke jump shot in the NBA.
They don't use your boy Jamal Crawford good enough. And
Yeah,
lastly,
but he's injury plagued right now. Like as much as I
he is
love Jamal
getting old. I
Crawford, like
mean, he's getting older.
yeah, no,
And
and I
then,
saw a video clip of him getting low bridge by by Coach Tibbs when he used to play. Like, oh my goodness.
and then to top it off, he said, "JJ Redick's a hack." So, I mean,
JJ
that was it.
Redick's
He
a
said he can't play defense. JJ Redick is a hack.
Eh,
That was his argument. He said he can't play defense. He got
the
terrible
jury
feet.
the jury's out on that one. I don't know
It,
about that.
I don't know about that one. It was comical and
If
hilarious, but
if anything, I would say JJ definitely improved his defense.
he stinks still. But
I
whatever.
mean, he
I'll just
stinks. I'm
I'll
just
just
saying
like
that from what he was doing from Duke to what he is now, he definitely improved his defense.
that's what I was gonna say. I'll have to respect him just because he's a Dookie alum.
And they'll be tripping.
Don't be tripping. Which that news came out today that Grayson Allen was staying for his senior season, which is pretty interesting and pretty. Obviously he has to rebuild his
I was gonna say
reputation a
he
little
needs
bit.
to rebuild his brand, so I think that's the best move right now for him to just
Absolutely.
do that because he's probably not gonna get drafted. And if he does get drafted, it might be late second round,
If at all.
if at all. I mean, he might be like out in the D League, despite the fact that he could be a top 5 pick.
I mean, yeah, I mean, definitely. Now, for the rest of the NBA game twos, obviously the Rockets are playing the Oklahoma City Thunder. 5:55 left in the second quarter, and Oklahoma City's up 55-46. Which, of course, I'm just like, whatever. Both teams are playing okay. Nothing crazy's happened. I mean, they're getting some really really good shots. They're playing some really really good defense. They're definitely playing better than they did on Sunday. But hopefully that doesn't mean anything. The Hawks right now are beating the Wizards 69 to. Oh my God, what a terrible call! 69-67. The Rockets again losing right now, and then the Trailblazers and the Warriors play tonight. How crazy that they moved the Rockets and the Thunder game to a late when we usually play a late game, probably just so they can see if Kevin Durant can play.
Oh, I was like, wait, you moved it from late? Okay, okay.
We're always the late game. Like I've
Yes.
never seen the Rockets not be a late game, but now all of a sudden they
Well,
moved.
that and plus, think about it like this: since they
Nope.
lost the first game, everyone wants to see if Russell Westbrook's gonna go off.
Yeah, but I mean, you just gotta stay up and watch it. I'm not trying to hear that. Even though I mean, I'm good with it,
I
but
was about this game right here.
of course. But I mean, I think they wanted to give them a little bit more time to see if Durant could play. But that's a whole another story. That's just me, going on a rant as normal. But speaking of somebody rebuilding their brand, though, the WWE Superstar Shakeup, bro.
Came, it went. PLZ. Hashtag PLZ.
I just hate the fact that it's still some of the same stuff. Like literally some of the same stuff. Same
It,
stuff. Just
it is.
different brand, like Charlotte beating,
Charlotte
I didn't even
becoming the number
take it.
one
I don't even
contender
fucking
for
care.
the SmackDown
I
Women's
can't
title.
even.
Alexa Bliss becoming the number one woman contender for the Raw Women's title.
That's why I don't even know if I want to repeat that, man. It's just like, ugh, what the heck?
I mean, I guess the biggest shocker throughout this whole shakeup is the fact that they made Jinder Mahal, Four Eyes Bay, his spirit animal, his love.
But he can I think he can carry because he's strong. He's a strong guy. And I told you, I saw him lift with CT Fletcher, Braun Strowman, and who else was there that day? Oh my goodness, I can't even remember who else was there. But let me tell you, man, like he's a strong guy.
Oh
He
yeah,
struggled. He struggled to keep up with those guys. It was Big E. Big
it was
E.
Big E.
Think
Yep.
about this. Big E, Braun Strowman, and Jinder Mahal. Think about the muscles first and foremost. You know Big E is a strong guy. You know Braun is a strong guy, but I'm trying to tell you, Jinder Mahal carried his own, keeping up with these guys. And I'm gonna tell you, I wouldn't be surprised if he did his thing. I mean, I say give him a shot.
I well, they're talking about a reason why they did this, and we
Does
kind
it
of
make before you say, does it make sense?
business wise, absolutely.
I say because if it don't make sense, then you know it's not what we expect. I'm sorry, if it makes sense, then it's probably not what we expect. If it don't make sense, then it's not what we expect at all. It's not going to happen the way we want it to happen. He's going to lose and get buried in the next 3 weeks.
Well, WWE is expanding out to India.
Oh God.
Yep. He's already done. Oh, he's also watching the game as well too. It's
Yeah,
quite
I
funny to watch
mean,
him
I don't want
at
that. I don't
matches.
want India, but I want somebody to get teed up here and in the WWE. He should have
So
got technical for that. And Vince McMahon, I'm going to tell you right now, Vince McMahon is going down the same path that his father went down. And I'm going to tell you, as I mentioned to you via text, I'm curious how those dinners go when Vince is down with Triple H and Stephanie. Oh, guys, how you doing today? Oh, we're doing great, man. NXT destroyed you yet again.
just bent you over and
Yes.
gave you a
Yes.
famouser. There you go. That was PC.
Oh my goodness. But
Stay
Vince
on track,
McMahon
sir.
is going. I'm sorry. Vince McMahon is losing it. Like he's got to let. First of all, he's got to let Roman go. Not go as in
Yes.
like fire him, but let him go. It's not working for you. Push Braun. I like Jinder Mahal. I love it, but don't do it just because we're pushing India. Like, that's so condescending.
Doctor, this is just WWE logic. They've done this plenty of times. We talked about that with the primetime players getting the tag team championships.
I remember that. I mean, what happened to just pushing people because they could do it? You know what I mean?
Doesn't matter
Like,
anymore. Unless your name is Roman Reigns, doesn't matter anymore.
like, it's just ridiculous. But who else? Who else did you take away from this brand split that you think could potentially make some kind of noise? Who benefited from this? I know the
Honestly,
fans didn't.
no. I mean, Raw basically ransacked SmackDown,
Like they're gonna do NXT.
and they started to.
Didn't somebody just get hurt?
SmackDown got got Dawson jaw.
Which
He's
means
out till
that
July.
which means they're probably just gonna re-push American Alpha, which that died and fizzed.
Well, no, they're on Raw, not on SmackDown.
Oh, they got moved too.
Yeah. Well, remember the revival were on NXT.
And then they moved to SmackDown, though, right?
No.
The revival were never on SmackDown.
Nope.
Oh my God. So everybody was moved to Raw to make Raw look powerful, like Roman Reigns, and then
Yeah.
Roman Reigns was moved to SmackDown.
No, Roman Reigns is staying at Raw.
Oh my God.
Yep. They did such a great time. They did such a great job with that. Like, they deserve a participation award. That's how terrible they did. It's so
Yeah.
bad you get the little blue certificate, the little blue ribbon. That's all you get.
Yeah, but I mean,
Dollar store style.
hilarious. I'm just not even sure anymore, bro.
I mean,
That's
other
what I
than
said. I
that,
can't watch it. I can't watch it full time. I just can't.
I can't even watch it. Like, I read it or I look at some of the highlights. You know, the only thing that's highly interesting right now is the cruiserweight division. Like, they finally have an intriguing story between Austin Aries and, you know, Adrian Neville or King Neville or just Neville, however you want to call it.
I'm not watching 205.
I didn't say watch 205.
No, hear me out. It's not going to be even good to me. It's not going to be entertaining. It's not going to be anything to me until we get either Tyler Breeze over there or
That's not
Xavier
happening.
Woods.
That is also not happening, although they did pick up Kalisto.
I should just hang up on you right now. God, I should hang up on you right now.
It's like, that's okay.
Chris,
That's okay. Oh my
you
god!
you broke my nose, man. Chris.
I'm gonna kill you.
Stop shooting that baby gun. Don't shoot that gun no more. Oh, goodness.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, but that's the reason why Jinder Mahal's getting this push. And,
Hate
you
it.
know, as much as people want to say, oh, this is great opportunity for him, he was a freaking jobber for the longest. So
Yeah, and he's such a strong guy, and that's the only thing that stinks. I mean, the last thing I want to talk about, did you get the? I know you had posted two things. I think I had posted a few things about the. I think it was on Friday, the Friday finishers, in which you trolled me a little bit with the Eye of the Storm. I saw what you did there, but I did like the Perfect Plex video of Mr. Perfect, aka I guess in this situation, or better known as BKA, Kurt Hennig,
Yes.
doing the Perfect Plex on the Big Show, Raw Power. It was pretty sweet.
Raw power.
But then I posted a video in the Game Runners group about the wrestlers who would never be WWE champion. I hated this list because it was all people who should at least be in consideration for champion.
Yes.
And I can just name three people who are at the top of the list here. And I just want to get your quick thoughts on why they will never be champion.
Vince hated Mr. Perfect.
No,
Jake
no, no,
Roberts.
no, not those.
Hulk
I
Hogan.
said
Hulk Hogan's
no,
afraid
no,
of Jake
no.
Roberts. Oh wait. Oh sorry.
no, not those people. No. These are current wrestlers I'm talking
Okay.
about. So the first name was Cesaro. Why will Cesaro never be a WWE champion? I'll tell you what the video said. The video said that he'll never be a champion because he gets pop for just being himself, and Vince doesn't like people who come in with a lot of buzz unless he created it.
I can agree with that.
That's ridiculous.
I can agree with that because I was gonna say that either it's from his indie following, you know, because I mean Cesaro or Mr. Cagliostro when he was in the Indies is a heck of a wrestler. A heck of a wrestler. He's tall, he's strong, he's agile. I mean, he has it all. But
Yeah.
they just don't want to give it to him because he has too much hype, bro.
The next person was Rusev.
I think untimely injuries hurt him more.
But they said
It-
that he had a
it-
nice run and then
it
he got
also
buried by John
didn't-
Cena.
Well, yes, I mean, but then again, who hasn't been buried by John Cena? Other than your boy AJ Styles.
Which is crazy.
But yeah, I mean, he was on top of the world. Like, they was talking about him, you know, having a program for the main title, and then he lost to John Cena 3 times because John Cena lost. But I mean, it was that plus his untimely injuries that's been occurring, and then the whole issue with him and Lana when they got themselves engaged and got themselves married and stuff.
Right. I'm gonna give you two more names just for fun.
Go for it.
This next one is just how hilarious. I might even be trolling you with this one. Apollo Crews,
No charisma
Troll
and can't
Prince.
and can't talk on the mic at all.
Can't talk on the mic. But
No.
this one
Like
is serious though.
certain people could get away with that though. Like
Hmm.
let's just say that right now. Like certain people could get away not being good on the mic. Like Shinsuke Nakamura can get away with that because he is just so charismatic from
Right.
his body expressions.
Right.
Like I just got finished watching the video where he confronted Dolph Ziggler and Dolph Ziggler said, "I don't know who you are. Who are you?" And the crowd is answering for Shinsuke. Like that's just how much charisma he has. He's oozing machismo.
Machismo. Oh. Now, on another more serious note here, and this is somebody that obviously you just mentioned not too long ago, and I would have never thought about it until I watched this video. But how would you feel? Two-part question. First
Go
of
for it.
all, why it will never happen, and second, how would you feel if it did happen? How would you feel
The suspense is killing me.
if Neville was world champion?
I feel like they'll only do that to mimic what TNA did with Austin Aries.
Because
Because
that
Austin Aries did that same thing.
I think Neville as a heel
Is
would
absolutely
be
great.
would be one of the best champions and we've had in a while.
So we're gonna have Neville defeating Braun Strowman.
We're gonna have. Well, no, are they? They're not in the same promotion, are they?
They're
Well, no,
both
no, they're not because it's this whole 205 thing.
but
But
Raw owns 205.
that's stupid.
So yeah, so what you're saying is if Neville became Universal Champion, that means he has to defeat Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman, which means they're both gonna get like the guy with the three H's buried.
I'm not sure because I think that
But I think
if
what's
you
gonna
build it the right way, I think that. I mean, I would say.
here's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be they're gonna try to do something where they're gonna give an underdog a chance, and
Mhm.
they're gonna say whoever's the 205 cruiserweight champion can parlay his title for a shot at the main title of Raw.
The only person I see outside of those guys, the only other people I see are only people I see him having a problem with, of course, are the likes of him getting buried and beat up by Braun Strowman, as you mentioned, Roman Reigns. But then that beast incarnate, which we don't want to see another Brock Lesnar versus cruiserweight a la Eddie Guerrero. You know what I mean?
I threw up on my mouth a little bit just thinking
I
about
know
it.
you. I saw it. I saw you squint a little bit. You got a little. Yeah, you weren't feeling it. But think about it. If he hit his move on Brock Lesnar, and then Paul Heyman's out there like, "Oh my God, you beat the Conqueror! You beat the Conqueror! Not John Gotti, but you beat the Conqueror, Brock."
Chris, we're gonna cut off the show right now. I think it's over. We're gonna let the doctor introduce tonight's sponsor.
Oh my God!
We're gonna cut the sheet right now.
Tonight's show is sponsored as always by Stella. Unofficially, officially, of course. As well as Small Town Brewery, always giving us those great flavors. Classics never die. Not Your Father's Ginger Ale, hopefully still in stores. And any final thoughts, sir?
Uh, I mean, not a whole lot really. Just we have to be careful, with us growing more as media members.
Of course.
We understand the line between baiting and offering the facts.
It's a thin line.
And that line has become so thin that it's ridiculous.
It is.
So,
Paper thin.
I think, not just for us, but I think just for people in general, we need
Absolutely.
to understand that when
Absolutely.
it comes to sensitive subjects. Like, yes, once again, we keep saying trolling is fun.
Supposed to be. You know, you're one of the kings. Bow down to the
But
king.
if
That's
you're not
early.
considering, the situation itself, then you're just being a prick. So
Prick,
just stop it.
little prick in the spin cycle.
Exactly. It's not the sweet one.
It's not the sweet one. It's the sour one.
But that's my final thoughts.
You want to know something? I know there are so many guys who whose hearts were broken today to learn
Oh,
that
yes!
Serena Williams
Yes!
is 20 weeks pregnant. I know there's so many guys out there, little boyhood dreams that they wanted to become a reality.
Talking about Heartbreak Hotels.
Dream is over, boys.
The dream is over! The dream
The
is
dream,
dead.
the dream, the boyhood dream that's never become a reality. But yeah, congratulations, Serena Williams, though. And my wife did point out that that means she would have had to compete pregnant while winning her last tournament, and that's pretty impressive.
That is very impressive. Shout out to Serena Williams.
Absolutely,
Uh, we at Debates Among Friends hope you have a healthy pregnancy.
absolutely. And
And we
come
look
back
forward to the
time.
pictures.
Yeah,
And, once you come back to the court, just be your same dominant self.
yeah. Unless she retires, which I wouldn't be mad at her. Do your
I wouldn't
thing.
blame her at all.
Yeah, be a mom. Absolutely. But introduce tonight's track, sir. Unless you want me to do the honors, I do see it right here.
Go for it, sir.
Oh, you picked a. I see what you did here. Marcus D, I see. Midnight Notes featuring Luth. The name of the album. Oh, I see what you did here, sir. The Lone Wolf LP. Oh, it's two lone wolves in this world. There's the Professor John Gotti and that other guy in the WWE who lost via countout. Oh, that was ridiculous. That's another day, another time. We don't got time to go over that anymore. But two lone wolves. You can find him on Twitter at Marcus D. We've also posted the links and the description below. But here's Marcus D. Midnight Notes featuring Luth from the Lone Wolf LP from 2015. I am Dr. Wednesday Night.
And I am the Professor John Gotti.
And for tonight, I'm going to say it peace and love.
Deuces.
Yeah, Tokyo Midnight Notes. Hey, you might cross these. Shakeup on the way to the York. Shit, we got a bunch of hit 'em out the watch. You got a car on the dog and said the sick of I'm bored. No hot car and tell Russia got for that is for torch the deck. You hit on Kaki. The upper shingle they could set to the hit on army. Touch more chitty chitty. You not a yako chew. The hot gonna mighty time I tell you CO2. Starbucks, Okata, ni hanashi chew. And my you knock a demon, name wrong, not your mom. My hickey cow, he told me, Okaki walk your body sack and he took a shackle. What common on the worry. Fish on the cock and out and knocking him out in the corridor. The hope of your Aketo Dojini, the Haki Dash, the Yoku boat or Kata Tani Kora Mountain. Oh, you take him out of the dust, the box, call it a Tokyo Midnight Notes.
The next station is the doors on the left side.
내 마부시고 히카르 가부키 쇼 Chinese Korea Taiwanese Japanese 맞아 타고 코네 나리 히피크 클락션 스마 이미지도 이리 쿰다 junction The 일이리고 히카르 된 코케이지 반대 요리 데모 마피루 멋나요나 다크시감 나 브라비에스 쿠리도리 히시스 다르 더 better 나 사라 ritman 몸이 그 살에 뜻이 가라가 호도는 와기니 삼미 시소 네 요코리 나한테 カラスが群がるポリバケツのゴミをさらネズミトーチで溢れる笑い声怒鳴り声いくつもの喜怒哀楽で時代のうねりが作られてく今夜も香る東京ミッドナイトノーツ Yeahけど悪いことばかじゃないぜ押し寄せてく人波の中で隠れてる自分高めるため求めてる刺激そこは出会いが溢れる引っ張り合うかのように必然的な引力で光を見られる同士同じ方向に足踏み出しては共に振り上げてきたこの拳共に失敗し共に笑い合い共に悔しがり共に不思議合い人混みの中で見つけた宝物が生涯の財産前面大抵最低な思い出ばかさ殺すタレで時を重ねる今宵も委ねるのさこの東京ミッドナイトノーツ